For more now, let's go to our guest, Democratic strategist Nomiki Konst. Am I saying that right?
Nomiki. Nomi.
Nomi.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Former Democratic New York City Mayor Bill DeBlasio and Steve Cortes, Republican strategist and former senior Trump campaign advisor. Great, as always, to have all of you here. I'm going to start tonight with the layoffs. Nomi, the VA, the Department of Energy, Forest Service, CDC, all hit hard. We're talking about 8,000 employees just in those departments alone. These are people who take care of our veterans, who fight forest fires. The president of the Federal Employees Union said this will, quote, put a massive strain on public services Americans depend on and make our country less safe.
Absolutely. I mean,
that's not hyperbole?
It's not hyperbole. This is something that the libertarians have been dreaming about for the last 50 years at least. This is something that Elon Musk has enacted in the tech space, but it is not something that Donald Trump campaigned on. He campaigned on protecting veterans. He campaigned on protecting working people.
He also campaigned on cutting waste.
He did, but humans are not waste, especially if they are protecting our country. I mean, people who are protecting our nuclear sites, that is a national security risk. So, if you're looking at it from the perspective of an outsider, say in Europe, you're thinking this is the dismantling of American institutions, and it does not benefit anybody, the taxpayer, the billionaire who wants to continue to have their companies safe in the United States. It does not benefit our allies. It does not benefit veterans. It does not benefit working people. It does not benefit Republicans running for re-election for Congress in a year. This only benefits our foreign adversaries, in my opinion.
All right, Steve, I can feel you through the long distance and, chomping at the bit to chime in. So go ahead.
Yes, look, here's the unfortunate reality for the masses of Americans far away from East Coast newsrooms and the halls of government, bloated halls of government in Washington, D.C. They cannot afford groceries right now. They report record levels of stress. Housing affordability has never been worse. And why? Largely because this inflation that has been inflicted upon America by Bidenomics, it is caused primarily and fueled by bloated government spending, record debt, and the resulting sky-high interest rates. So they don't have very much sympathy for government employees who need to be cut because the federal Leviathan bureaucracy is absolutely out of control and has been borrowing and spending at an exorbitant rate that is punishing to regular Americans. There is such a chasm right now between Washington, D.C.'s reality and the rest of the country. And the rest of the country voted very clearly for Donald Trump to do this. He would bring Elon Musk on stage and specifically talk about the DOGE and exactly what he's going to do, and he's doing it. And the American people gave him a mandate to implement that exact task.
Well, as always, people want to cut the waste and cut the wasteful spending until it impacts services. We will only be able to see if that happens in the coming weeks and months. All right, new story. This brewing controversy over the DOJ trying to dismiss criminal charges against New York City's Mayor Eric Adams. 7 federal prosecutors have now resigned in protest. The lead prosecutor wrote this in a letter of resignation. Quote, no system of ordered liberty can allow the government to use the carrot of dismissing charges or the stick of threatening to bring them again to induce an elected official to support its policy. If no lawyer within earshot of the president is willing to give him that advice, then I expect you will eventually find someone who's a fool, enough of a fool or enough of a coward to file your motion. But it was never going to be me. Ouch. They did find someone to sign the letter, former Mayor DeBlasio. What do you make of that resignation, that letter of protest? These are 7 prosecutors. More prosecutors have resigned in the last, 24 or 36 hours than in the Saturday Night Massacre.
Sure, and invoking that time of the Watergate crisis is important because I think most people don't remember what that was like. What we actually had to decide as a nation that the Justice Department had to be independent, that no one was above the law. I think there's something here that's profoundly troubling in the way the Justice Department did this and how it's part of a much bigger pattern of the Trump administration having disregard for any kind of democratic norm. That being said, I also think they had an opportunity to say something a lot of us feel, which is that charges against Mayor Adams were very weak and should just be dropped on the merits.
Thank Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.